All right, I'm back. Back. I'm back. Um, so, excuse me. I had to get a drink of water and do a little breathing and um, just kind of be alone. Speaking of, okay, so, um, okay, so I had just made contact with a high level conscious being. I'll say that. And really, it's like when you just make contact with like the divine spark in another person. And so that just happened. And then so I was like, well, I'll just go sit down. You guys, I sit down in the little corner. I was like, well, oh, there's 2 chairs over there. So if she shows up, there's a chair for her too. And I sit in this little corner next to the fireplace. And there's a lot going on. There's music playing. There's a few visitors. There's people coming and coming and going and chatting. And I'm like, okay, so, all right, what am I here for? You know, like, I'm here. I brought myself here. The universe brought me here. What am I here for? You guys, I look down at my phone, and 1111 is like the number, like, or 11 or 4 is like just what I see all the time. And I know that's because I put it in my head. But 4 has always been my number ever since I was a little girl. I want a cake on a cakewalk on the number 4, and it just like locked it in. That's 4's, that's it. And then, you know, just since I've been kind of like becoming aware, 11 has really locked in. So I look down, and my phone says 11:11 for the time. And I just, and in that moment, when I looked over at it's freaking crazy. My phone said 11:11, and I looked at the chair, and I was thinking like, oh, here I am at 11:11 sitting alone. And then at that second, I locked into the music. I wish I would have remembered what the song was, the name of the song was, or looked it up or something, but maybe somebody will know when I say it. But one of the lyrics that I just, that I heard, that the first lyrics that I heard, I didn't even realize music was playing, but I hadn't locked into it yet. And the words in the music said, "I'm sitting alone." It was freaking nuts. So fun. Okay. So I'm like, oh my God. Okay. So here I am sitting alone, locked into the music. What you got for me? Right. And mind you, my interviewee did not show up, and I had no idea what was going on with her. I didn't really put much thought into it. I was just like, I'll find out eventually what happened, and I just know that right here is where I'm at, you know? So I guess I just want to like, I feel like that's where what I came to was that, like, things aren't happening to us. We're moving in synchronicity with everything that's going on around us. And what we're doing is we're labeling what is going on around us by how we feel. Okay? Because it was like what came up for me as far as feelings, what came up for me was disappointment. I was kind of like, you know, my first thought was to kind of go, who doesn't show up for an interview, you know? And, or not really. And that, at that point, it wasn't even an interview. It was, just to clarify, it was more of like a casual coffee date, you know, like that's your time to shine, you know, come and let's see what we got. So let's see if we're, you know, we're going to be a right fit for each other. And, so yeah, and initially I was like, I mean, just for a split second, I was like, well, you know, that feeling of disappointment. So I sat with it for a second, and I said, I didn't label it. I didn't label it with like, oh, she's a bad person or, or whatever. I just said, okay, I'm here, and the outcome, or what I thought would happen in the future isn't happening right now, And so you just roll with that. I think that that's what I'm teaching myself, is like, I tell myself, just roll with it. Like nothing's happening to you, It's just feelings that come up while you're here in this experience, And so so that just happened with the music. And then, once I guess maybe once I got through that, like just quick little initial disappointment, like the world opened up. Like I just suddenly expanded, because it was like, oh, like I didn't come here for the interview. I came here to discover me and to see the world around me and to perceive it and to put it in, to choose to put it in the filters that I've filtered it through my whole life. And I'm beginning to not put it through that filter. I'm just beginning to experience it. Feels good. And there's a flock of birds flying by. Oh, they just made a heart. That was so cool. So cool. Oh my gosh. All right. So fun, isn't it? Isn't it fun? Okay. I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm just going to keep going. Okay. We're at 6:48. And I just got to finish what happened, because maybe you're dying to know. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking at that point, early in, before I sat down, I was even thinking, oh, I need to do a 360 here, because it's so cool. So I'll go back in and do that. But, so what happened was I was just like, okay, all right. So it even gets better. Okay. So I'm sitting there, and I lock into the song. I lock into, that it basically, like, I experienced the music to what I was feeling. Like, I'm sitting alone, but like I didn't judge that, it was more like, yeah, like, like the whole universe told me I'm sitting alone at 11:11. Like, it was like a really cool moment, and it was just fun. And so that's how I dealt with that disappointment, I guess. So anyway, the mystery was still there at the moment, and what happened? Oh, my phone doesn't work. My business line doesn't ring on the weekends. And so I wasn't getting her call. She tried to call me twice, and then texted something like, my daughter was sick all night and she just woke up. And you guys, when I read that, like, I trust that whatever they're saying is what happened. I really do my best to just take in the words for what they're expressing to me as to why they're not here. And like at that point, I'd been done with the disappointment. I was just curious. I was glad to know what was happening. It was like, okay, good. I've heard from her, and decide that I'm going to call her, because I can see she's trying to call and I can't answer the call anyway. So I call her, and she goes, oh my gosh, are we already at another 10 minutes? Okay. So, are you dying to know how the conversation went? Okay, then. So stay tuned. So I guess I'm just going to do these little 10 with Tam videos, because, really the reason why, like all the social media and that kind of stuff is this. I had this thought today, that we all resonate and love to be on our phones, is because a lot of times we get to see ourselves well, especially if you're on a lot, you're watching yourself. You're approving of yourself. It feels good, right? So, and you're only going to put on what looks good and feels good. So, yeah, keep doing that, but keep it out of like don't be so consumed by it. And I don't want to put any don'ts on it. I'm saying this is how my experience is. Like I try not to be consumed with anything, you know? Just presence as much as I can. All right, I'll see you in a few.